Hi again. So now I'm going to be just talking about how sexual dimorphism links with the mating patterns of primates and then ultimately with their social structure or social system. So when we're looking at mating pattern, first thing we have primates where each male only mates with one other female, and that's what we call monogamy. Now monogamy isn't really what we think of as monogamy, where you're only mating with one person at a time. With these guys, it's typically where the male and the female will end up pair bonding. So they live in a single male, single female social structure as well. So monogamy, no sexual dimorphism, because the male doesn't have to fight for access to females. So because they're pair bonded, there's no need for that male to be larger than other males or than the female. So that's our monogamous social structure, which is again going to link with the single male, single female social structure. So mating pattern monogamy, single male, single female social structure. Now we also see monogamy sometimes with what we consider solitary primates. And a solitary primate is those individuals, usually the strepsirrhines, where they each live individually or live alone, but come together only to mate. And this is where we see more of that serial monogamy coming in, where each male only mates with one female per mating pattern or per mating season, if you will. Then the female will live with her juvenile offspring and the male will live alone. So again, that's going to link pretty much with that no sexual dimorphism. So monogamy is going to link with either one male, one female living pattern or social organization, or the solitary social organization. Now there's one other type of social organization that will show no sexual dimorphism, and that's a mating pattern that we call polyandry. With polyandry, we have one female and two males. And we see this primarily in the marmosets and the tamarins of the platyrrhines, the New World monkeys. And we see it primarily because these species have twins. So since they have two babies, they also have two dads to kind of help them out. Again, because both males mate with her, we don't see any sexual dimorphism. So we call this a one female, two male social structure or social organization, but the mating pattern is what we would call polyandrous. Okay? Poly meaning more than one, androus meaning males. So in this situation, what we have is three different social structures, two different mating patterns, all having no sexual dimorphism. Now, as we move up to some sexual dimorphism, where we see at least some difference between males and females, but not a huge difference, this is where we see a mating pattern that we call promiscuous or polygynandrous. This is where every male and every female in the social group mate with one another, kind of indiscriminately. There's not a pecking order where only one male can mate with the females. So everybody mates with everybody, hence promiscuous. Okay. The reason we only see some sexual dimorphism is because there's only some male-to-male competition. So there's no huge push to be that bigger, stronger male. So some sexual dimorphism is only going to link with one mating pattern, that polygynandrous or promiscuous mating pattern, and that's going to link with a multi-male, multi-female social organization. Now this can be a large group where there's hundreds of individuals, or it can be a small group where there's maybe 10 to 15. It can also be a group that we call fission-fusion, where they come together in that really large group for a while, and then they separate down into smaller groups who come back together into that larger group when there's enough food available. Now our last level of sexual dimorphism is when we've got lots of sexual dimorphism, like what we can see in our gorillas right here. Okay. So that's where we've got that lots of sexual dimorphism. This is where each male has to fight with all the other males to retain access to his females. So we call this polygynous or polygynous in terms of our mating pattern, sorry. Each male mates with multiple females, but each female only mates with that one male. And this is going to link with a social organization that we call one male, multi-female, or sometimes call harem, where again we just have the one single male with a lot of females and their juvenile offspring. Which means that when the juvenile males become an adult, they have to leave the social group and find a new social group to start out with, where each male will again be only mating with his group of females. Now, as they are older juveniles, they'll work together to try and oust one of the adult males who already has a harem and try and take it over. But this is where we see that large amount of sexual dimorphism coming in, because when two males fight, typically the bigger, stronger one wins. So it's beneficial to have a very large male because that male is more likely to father offspring. So again, our 3 levels of sexual dimorphism link with our different mating patterns. So no sexual dimorphism, that's going to link with monogamy or polyandry, and therefore is going to link with either solitary, one male, one female, or one female, two male social structures. Some sexual dimorphism, that's going to link with our promiscuous or polygynandrous mating pattern, and therefore our multi-male, multi-female social structure. And then our very large amount of sexual dimorphism, that's going to link with our polygyny and our one male, multi-female, or harem social structures. So now you should be able to do the exercise in your book on sexual dimorphism. Make sure you follow all the directions for that, and you'll be able to look at the photos online to finish the exercise, and you'll be able to take a look at the casts in class when we get back.